Hello everyone. In this video, I will discuss Masamune, which appears in the Final Fantasy series. Many people associate Masamune with the weapons used by Sephiroth. However, if you look at Masamune, you can enjoy FF from a different aspect, so please read to the end. Masamune. It's the long sword that Sephiroth carries in FF7. It's so long, said that only Sephiroth can handle this sword. The Masamune has 6 materia slots in 3 linked pairs, 0 materia growth, a 255 hit rate, and 99 attack power. And it has a threatening performance with 100% critical hit damage. Sephiroth can swing a long and unwieldy this sword at high speed. He handles it so easily with one hand, shows that he is quite capable. The Masamune of the FF series varies slightly in color, length, and design depending on the work. By the way, if you try to remove Masamune from Sephiroth's equipment, it will be silently refused. An item called Masamune Blade, made to resemble Masamune, can be obtained as a mini-game prize. They say can feel like a soldier when equipped with it, but can also sell it for 25 gil. Masamune is a very long Japanese sword and very cool. Besides, it is a special item, a weapon that only Sephiroth can handle, making it a popular weapon among FF fans. Also, Gilgamesh in DDFF has the following line. Next, I will introduce Sephiroth's technique using Masamune. Excluding magic etc., it's limited to techniques using Masamune. Reaper. It reaves the opponent's attack and simultaneously unleashes a myriad of attacks. Aeolian Onslaught. In DDFF, it's a technique that unleashes a powerful slash after accumulating power. In 7R, the technique is to which the sword is raised and then brought down from the air. Empyrean Wrath. This technique involves slashing 4 times in the air. Left, right, Telluric Fury. It is a technique in which the sword is used to slash 4 times, right, left. Empyrean Wrath and Telluric Fury are a pair of techniques. Zanshin. It's a long-range attack technique that sends shockwaves flying by swinging the sword. I think the technique used in this scene in CCFF is also Zanshin. Transience. Blow opponent away with a powerful slash. Boundless Void. Sticks Masamune to the ground, pulling a target in before uppercutting them. Sudden Cruelty. Although it does not have a sheath, it is a technique that releases a swift and powerful slash like an Ianuki. Masamune's Posture. It's a defensive technique that nullifies any attack. Fervent Blow. Swinging sword releases multiple energy blades, and when they hit an opponent, rushes forward and slashes them away. Godspeed. Swing sword and fire multiple blades of energy. If they hit the opponent, lunge forward and knock them downward. Oblivion. Close in and slash through the opponent, dealing multiple hits in your wake. Scintilla. Guard attacks, then thrust forward with sword to stun and damage the opponent before slashing them away. Hell's Gate. It is a rushing technique that jumps high into the sky and then plummets down. This technique is famous in this scene. Heaven's Light. A very powerful lunging uppercut slash. Blade Dash. Quickly charge forward and slash the opponent 13 times in rapid succession. In KH2, Sephiroth will perform this technique as soon as the battle begins. Octaslash. Quickly charge forward and slash the opponent 8 times in rapid succession. Sephiroth often appears with this technique. In CCFF, Zack is also a technique that can be used. Heartless Angel. It's a powerful attack that reduces the opponent's HP to 1, and is one of Sephiroth's most representative techniques. In DFFAC, this attack has the same effect as Doom. The Japanese names for these techniques are written in kanji. The same technique has different motions in different works. All the techniques are very cool. I like Heartless Angel the best. If you like, please share your favorite Sephiroth technique in the comments section. Masamune also appears in other works besides FF7, and we will briefly introduce some of the Masamune in other works. Final Fantasy. These weapons are available at the Chaos Shrine. This weapon, which can be equipped by all job, is the most powerful weapon with high attack and hit rates. Final Fantasy II. This weapon can be found in a hidden room in the Pandemonium. It is the most powerful weapon in FF2 and can be used as a Haste 11. The NES version has a certain probability of breaking when used. Final Fantasy III. It can be obtained by defeating Kunoichi in Forbidden Land Eureka. It's the strongest weapon in the Dark Sword, and equipping it increases agility and vitality. Final Fantasy IV. This is Edge's most powerful weapon, which can be obtained by defeating Ogopogo. It has a haste effect when used as an item. In FF4 Easy Type, its name Ma-Ken Masamune. Final Fantasy V. It is one of the 12 weapons sealed in the Sealed Castle. Equipped with it, can take action right at the start of the battle, increasing the chance of a critical hit, and using it will have a haste effect. Final Fantasy VI. This is Cyan's most powerful weapon, which can be obtained at Dreamscape, Coliseum, or stolen from Yojimbo. In past works, it has appeared as the most powerful Japanese sword, but in this work, an even more powerful Japanese sword appears. In GBA and later, Masamune appears as one of the attacks of Summon Magic, Gilgamesh. It can deal damage to the entire enemy ignoring magic defense. Final Fantasy VIII. It appears as one of the 4 swords held by Gilgamesh. The Masamune attack is a non-attribute, all-out attack, but once it reaches level 60, its attack power reaches 9,999. Final Fantasy IX. It can be obtained by stealing it from Merilith or synthesizing it in the synthesis shop. It's characterized by a similar effect to the Doom. Final Fantasy Tactics. You can get it by catching something thrown by level 95 ninja. It is the second strongest Japanese sword weapon. Final Fantasy X. Auron's most powerful weapon. The less HP have, the more damage can inflict. In FF10-2, Riku is equipped with it when she becomes a Dark Knight. Final Fantasy XI. One of the Empyrean weapons available in Trail. Once you have enhanced it, you will learn Tachi Fudo. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. The weapon can learn Oblivion, and has a high attack power of attack 65. There is also the most powerful Japanese sword, the Masamune 100. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicle. Masamune in this work appears as an artifact. It's available in Mount Kalanda after the 3rd week and has attack +5. Final Fantasy XII. In FF12, this weapon can only be equipped with a license. It's the strongest two-handed weapon available. Final Fantasy XII Revenanto Wings. One of Gilgamesh's techniques is Masamune. This technique inflicts a slash with a great sword on a single enemy. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicle Ring of Fates. This weapon is available by generating and has a high attack power of attack 160. Final Fantasy XIII-2. It appears as a weapon used by Gilgamesh and delivers a physical attack with a slash. The setting is that it was picked up from a poisoned river near a kingdom called Doma. Final Fantasy Legends. This is an attack 100 weapon that can be obtained by liberating Castlebert Gang. Lightning Returns. Final Fantasy XIII. Attack +1700, a moderately high attack power, but sold at a high price. Final Fantasy XIV. One of the weapons used by Gilgamesh. It's similar to Sephiroth's Masamune, and has a long blade. Mobius Final Fantasy. Soldier's Sword, once considered a hero. It also has additional benefits such as an increased rate of life elements, and the auto ability of reunion. Final Fantasy XV. A code to obtain Masamune was included in the initial production of the software and was later sold as DLC. It sometimes increases the attack against an unharmed enemy. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. It has the Tachi Enpai slashing technique, multiple slashes, and a long-range wind attack as an ability. Kingdom Hearts. The One-Winged Angel, Keyblade, inspired by Sephiroth's Masamune, appeared at KH. In KH2, a Keyblade called Guardian Soul, inspired by Auron's Masamune, was introduced. Airguise. In Airguise can obtain Sephiroth's Masamune in quest mode. Puzzle and Dragons. An item named Masamune of Sephiroth will be available. Masamune appears in a variety of works other than those introduced here, and is one of the most representative weapons of the FF genre. Next I will discuss the relationship between Sephiroth and Masamune. Sephiroth's motif is Kojiro Sasaki, a master swordsman who existed from the Warring States period to the Edo period. The motif of Cloud is Musashi Miyamoto, who was a rival of Kojiro Sasaki. Sasaki Kojiro is often portrayed as a handsome man with long, center-parted hair in anime productions, and Sephiroth is depicted as such. Kojiro Sasaki is said to have used a very long Japanese sword called Manahoshazao. I think the reason why Sephiroth's Masamune has a long sword blade is because of the Manahoshazao motif. Sephiroth's Masamune is single-edged, and even when slashing vertically, the curved blade of the sword will result in a wider cut on the opponent. A long Japanese sword has the advantage of feeling lighter because the curvature of the sword changes the position of its center of gravity. In addition, it is easier to remove the blade from the sheath, which has various benefits. But Sephiroth does not keep Masamune in its sheath, but always treats it with its body unsheathed. In the recollection scene of FF7, he shows the motion of retracting the sword during the victory pose, but the sword is still drawn. I think it is inefficient in battle to sheath such a long sword, but I feel it is very dangerous outside of battle. In the scene where Sephiroth appears in FFAC, there is a depiction of him creating Masamune. This suggests that Sephiroth does not have Masamune during normal times, but creates it only during battles, either by magic or some other means. Japanese swords have a kenso, or swordsmanship, in which the shape of the blade and the pattern of the blade are used to divine good or bad luck. It is like palm reading in the human body. Masamune's kenso is said to be very powerful and sacred. One of the characteristics is said to be the fan-shaped ogiba pattern. The ogi is considered a prestigious and auspicious object. It's also said to have been used in sacred ceremonies to bring down deities into human bodies, and was thought to be an object that connected man to the heavens. It is said that the Japanese sword and its wielder share the same spirit, as the kenso has the characteristic of matching the wielder's spirit with the sword. Based on this Japanese legend, it can be said that Sephiroth and Masamune share the same spirit. There seems to be a link between the spirit of Masamune, which is sacred and overwhelmingly strong, and the spirit of Sephiroth, which is powerful but increasingly insane. And it could suggest that Sephiroth and Jenova will be channeling. Channeling means linking with higher dimensional beings. This may be one of the reasons why only Sephiroth can handle Masamune. To summarize, the sword handled by Sephiroth was inspired by the Manahoshazao of Kojiro Sasaki, and was given the name Masamune, which is familiar in the FF series. And Masamune can be considered a reference to the relationship between Sephiroth and Jenova. This may be the reason why Sephiroth's weapon is Masamune. If you have any opinions, please let us know in the comments section. As a side note, Masamune is read phonetically as seisiu, which means the same as an alcoholic drink. Therefore, a Japanese alcoholic drink named Masamune was created. How was it? I hope that by learning more about Masamune, you will come to love Sephiroth and the FF series even more. Incidentally, it would be interesting if you look up the Japanese sword masters Musashi Miyamoto and Kojiro Sasaki, as you will get a different impression of Cloud and Sephiroth. I'm curious to see how the two will be portrayed in Final Fantasy VII Reverse, which will be released in February next year. Well then, everyone, I will see you again. Goodbye.